Welcome to today's Change of Command ceremony. I am Technical Sergeant Brittany Kempton, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Today, you will witness Major Joe Castillo pass command of the 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron to Major Brooke Coltrane. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the posting of the colors, singing of the national anthem by Airman First Class Sharon Zeze, and the invocation by Chaplain Jeremiah Henderson.
Go. Up. Forward. Home. Forward. Home. Reasoning. Oh.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight hold the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Forward. Home. Colors. Colors turn. Hard.
Please join me in prayer as you're able. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we come before you now to give thanks for this moment, which is set aside to say goodbye to one great leader and to welcome another. As we pause to reflect on the changes that are about to take place, we ask your blessing upon this ceremony. The 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron, our Red Tail family, and our entire military family here and around the world. we ask that you would continue to guide us in your infinite wisdom and use us for your greatest good. As we turn to this next chapter in our leadership, this ceremony reminds us that each of us is taking part in our nation's rich history of service and sacrifice. By your grace, the colors are being passed, and this important mission continues. We lift up to you our brother, Major Joe Castillo. We thank you for the person that he is, and we thank you for the awesome work that he accomplished to maintain and advance our base and our mission. We ask your richest blessings upon him, his parents, Joanne and Patrick, Flodion and Molly, and his entire family. Fill them with joy and peace, and give Joe some well-deserved rest. We further ask your blessings upon Major Brooke Cultra as she takes this awesome responsibility. Help her to lead with divine wisdom, and for our team to welcome, support, and honor her as she leads this contracting team. To meet each challenge with courage and integrity, let this be a season of success and growth. We humbly lift these requests and ask your blessing upon each person here today. It's in your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Honor Guard, Airman Zeze, and Chaplain Henderson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On behalf of the Commander, 332nd Expeditionary Mission Support Group, Colonel Martin Panizet, we would like to take a moment to recognize the leadership in attendance today. The Commander, 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing, Brigadier General Joseph Kunkel. The Vice Commander, 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing, Colonel Christopher Auger. The Interim Command Chief, 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Stephanie Martinez. The Superintendent, 332nd Expeditionary Mission Support Group, Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Rucker. The Command Team, 332nd Expeditionary Operations Group, Colonel Brian Stahl and Chief Master Sergeant Christopher Hasty. The Command Team, 1st Expeditionary Rescue Group, Colonel Timothy Matlock and Chief Master Sergeant Nicole Siegler. The Command Team, 332nd Expeditionary Maintenance Group, Colonel Albert Smith and Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Vanderwoody. The Interim Command Team, 332nd Expeditionary Medical Group, Lieutenant Colonel Russell Taunt and Master Sergeant Cass Vaughn. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all commanders, chiefs, superintendents, first sergeants, friends, family, and especially the men and women of the 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron. Today, with the passing of the Guidon, command of the 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron will transfer from Major Joe Castillo to Major Brooke Cultra. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the presiding officer, Colonel Martin Panizet.
Good afternoon, Red Tails. General Kunkel, Chief Martinez, fellow group commanders, squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and most importantly, the 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron, Red Tails. Thank you all for being here today. What an amazing day for a change of command. It's not too hot, it's not too cool, and it's late June, well, early June. So the weather's still kind of nice out here, fortunately for us. It's a perfect setting to recognize the accomplishments of the outgoing 332nd ECONS commander, Major Joe Castillo, as he passes the guide on to Major Brooke Cultra. First, I would like to take a moment to recognize Major Castillo's family. His father and stepmother, Florian and Molly Castillo, and his mother and stepfather, Joanne and Patrick Martinez. And Major Cultra's family, her dad and stepmom, Shane and Peg Cultra, mother and stepdad, Virginia and Darian Zacco. Thank you to both families and friends for your sacrifices while Joe and Brooke are away. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. Next, I want to say thanks to our 332nd professionals that put this event together. Thank you, Captain Burnett, the Honor Guard, Tech Sergeant Kempton, Lieutenant Butaia, First Sergeant Rodriguez Pennant, and to all others who helped make this possible, thank you again. Airman Zay, what a fantastic rendition of our national anthem. I am truly speechless. That was amazing. Airman Lehman, your partnership on guitar was also amazing. I have never heard that before. And I've been in the Air Force over 20 years. That was astonishing. That was an amazing start for this change of command. Chaplain Henderson, thank you for your inspiring invocation as well. This is truly a great start to today. Major Castillo, what can I say? It's truly been a remarkable year. Joe, with the size of your team, I feel you accomplished the most of any commander here. As you like to say at our staff meeting, everyone likes to brief what ECONS does. And to be fair, at times, a lot of people take credit for what ECONS does. But nothing here could have gotten done without you and your team. ECONS touches everything and continuously came to save the day in the last second with some form of 12th hour magic to keep the mission going each and every time. Joe, you executed the most diverse portfolio with the smallest team here. Why was this? Simply put, because of your outstanding leadership and your ability to get the mission done no matter what the situation. But the most intriguing part was you did this with such an easygoing, laid-back coolness and swagger that I've rarely seen ever in my career. But you did it that way through the whole year. You selflessly led 42 airmen across 3 different teams, supporting multiple locations in different countries. As I mentioned before, you touched everything from contracting, base maintenance, environmental, airfield lighting, Home Depot, laundry service, printers, vehicles, additional bed-down locations, linguists, Wi-Fi, Mojo, and even the iJock. You did this exceptionally while supporting over 4,000 joint and coalition forces over the year. Now I'd like to take a couple moments to talk about a few of these achievements that Major Castillo did over this year. You executed $62 million in requirements, posturing the AEW in its battle against ISIS and the deterrence of Iran. This is impressive in itself, and just a testament to how you handled business and took care of the red tails each and every day over the year. But let's talk the first major hurdle you encountered, end of year FY20. One thing that most folks may or may not know is that ECONS is very active at end of year. However, this last end of year, due to COVID, the prior team didn't really leave us a fully developed and fleshed out plan. But that didn't stop ECONS. Despite that situation at end of year, you short notice executed $17 million. Then you championed another $19 million surge at the last minute. And if that wasn't enough, you did it with most of your team either in COVID quarantine or isolation. That's got to be unprecedented. It's truly amazing getting that done, Joe. Major Castillo, you were instrumental in the $1 billion construction program that included new operations and life support areas. For the new LSA, this included everything from facility construction to FF&E. To make this future effort even more effective, you drove the Wing's first ever multiple award construction contract with almost $100 million ceiling. You were vital in the execution of the mission in our current operations and life support areas. This included everything from vital repairs to ROBs, ensuring generators operated properly, and fuel arrived so power existed, that latrines were properly maintained, and that infrastructure was improved to get us out of combat showers, that food arrived and food service contractors provided meals, that we had cell phones and Wi-Fi so that folks could communicate. Heck, when I was here 20 years ago, we just had one landline phone in the hallway of our building to call back to Comus, and that was it. There's been changes, a lot of changes in 20 years. But Joe, you even get improvements to Black Rock Park and inside the Oasis, like getting new massage chairs. All of these things happened because of ECONS. In addition, you led a $28 million AFCAP effort that included operations and support for the DFAC, REDS, MWR as a whole, power plants at Red Tail Village, and even engineering support services for CE. On our flight line, Major Castillo was instrumental to improvements to airfield lighting, airfield barriers, the installation of revetments, new taxiways and pavement, new construction for the ERQG, and all of this to enhance the power projection platform that is our location. During this year, you were vital in coordination with the U.S. Embassy, our joint and coalition partners, and our host nation. Speaking of host nation, Joe worked diligently and tirelessly with our host nation partners to repair and improve electrical, get our wastewater lagoons up and operational, moving forward to implement bidirectional calling, and even mitigating the issue of the previous laundry contractor had his land sold out from under him. Helping to increase survivability and safety of our airmen, you piloted $2.5 million for hardening of our LSA and operations areas. This included bunkers, improving sandbags, and even adding in lighting. By utilizing pre-vetted contractors, you ensured airfield barriers and T-walls were placed in under 72 hours, protecting our aircraft and our mission. You even supported our Army brethren, executing almost $700,000 in requirements, improving their life-supported infrastructure, enhancing our 24/7 air defense and base protection. So let's talk about some of the smaller things, like our GPC program. During your time here, you shouldered the execution of an $8 million GPC program, not small by any means, driving almost 2,000 actions, and even securing over $100,000 in rebates, while infusing over $4 million into the host nation economy. You heard that right, he got money back. Again, that's unheard of and unprecedented. Joe, all of these would be enough on their own, but there was so much more you did. You were instrumental in the development and execution of the Wing's mission, vision, and 6 priorities: deterring Iranian aggression, defending the mission, advancing C2, defeating Daesh, cultivating and strengthening relationships, and developing and taking care of our warfighters. Over the year, Joe supported multiple AVI swaps and numerous other new missions and bed downs. This included developing and executing a $15 million critical life support contract, securing meals and billets for over 3,000 members, preventing mission impact and base-wide COVID exposure during our year. You even played a part in the short notice arrival, bed down, stand up, and forward deployment for the first ERQG. And that forward deployment was to establish operations and life support from the ground up with no loss to the CFAC-CSAR mission. When it came to the IJOC, Major Castile did everything from executing construction to obtaining communications equipment, display systems, and audio-visual equipment, even getting furniture, excelling the Wing Commander's #1 priority 2 months ahead of schedule, and ensuring execution of MCOs in a degraded environment. And then there was finally COVID. Joe, once again, when it came to COVID, you touched every aspect of this installation. In the beginning, as we've talked about before, COVID wasn't a big thing here as other locations, but then that all changed. It was because of your leadership in securing meals and lodging for the AVI swaps and large rotations that ensured the 332nd AEW's mission continued with zero impact. But wait, there's more. When our host nation went back into lockdowns, you diligently worked with the embassy to ensure our boss-side contractors continued operating without impact, so there were no interruptions to services, ensuring that our mission-focused airmen didn't need to do that work as well as their normal jobs. What was truly remarkable was that after all of these actions, over 3 different rotations, and over the year, you would still find the ECONS team hanging out together in the evenings, watching movies together throughout the year, up until now. It's amazing. Joe, I can go on and on about all the great things you've done over this year, but I'll close with this. Every flying mission, maintenance operation, support function, defense task here at our location, ECONS touched it all. Everything that was made better was because of ECONS. Joe, you are truly a combat leader who built a remarkable team, and I look forward to hearing about the great things you do in the future. While we are saddened to see Joe go, we are excited for him as he heads off to the Space Rapid Capabilities Office at Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no other responsibility more meaningful than command, and our success is dependent on the quality of our leaders. The bottom line is General Kunkel picked the right leader to replace Major Castile. Major Brooke Coltra has absolute credibility and a continued record of excellence. She is a career contracting officer who has served in various assignments that includes contingency and deployment experience. Most recently, Major Coltra was the absent A7 Deputy Division Chief of Contracting at LUD Air Base. Brooke, These cumulative experiences have prepared you for success in command. I know your family could not be more proud of you as you step into this challenging and tremendously rewarding position. I have great confidence in you. The 332nd Red Tails is a wing full of tradition and excellence dating back to its inception, and I know you will fit into the leadership team perfectly. You've got a strong Red Tail heritage to live up to. In the last year, the 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron has performed magnificently. They set out to and accomplished a mission unlike any others in recent history. While our footprint in other parts of the theater are decreasing, this base is increasing in size and capability, and ECONS touches it all. Brooke, a tremendous amount of work has been done, but even more awaits. These airmen are fired up and ready for your leadership. They're writing their own chapter in the history of the Red Tails, and you will too. Ladies and gentlemen, Red Tails Spitfire.
Thank you, Colonel Panizet. Major Castillo, would you please join Colonel Panizet at center stage? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal to Major Castillo. Attention to orders. The Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, has been awarded to Major Joe C. Castillo for Outstanding Achievement 31 May 2020 to 7 June 2021. Major Joe C. Castillo distinguished himself by outstanding achievement as Commander, 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron, 332nd Expeditionary Mission Support Group, 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing. During this period, in support of Operation Inherent Resolve, Major Castillo led 42 military personnel through 3 rotations and directed contracting and business leadership at 3 locations, resulting in the flawless execution of a $150 million portfolio in support of F-15E, MQ-9, HC-130, HH-60, air defense, and over 2,000 personnel. Additionally, he awarded $54 million in construction and base support, ensuring the continued fight against Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, and United States Central Command's ability to project combat air power. Furthermore, Major Castillo developed an innovative $98 million multiple award construction contract, increasing project award capability 150% in support of the base's multi-year $1 billion construction program. During the 1st Expeditionary Rescue Group short notice relocation from Iraq, Major Castillo provided contracting expertise for operational and life support capabilities at 2 locations, resulting in no impact at combat search and rescue. Finally, battling the worst pandemic in over 100 years, he executed $15 million to support 2 base quarantine areas, resulting in minimal impact to combat mission generation during 7 coronavirus outbreaks. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Castillo reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Thank you, Colonel Panizet. It is my pleasure to introduce the Commander, 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron, Major Joe Castillo.
Just a little bit. So good afternoon, everyone. First off, I'd like to welcome and thank our wing leadership for being here. General Kunkel, feels just like yesterday that we were in Q1 playing charades and doing crazy weird things like the Invictus games. It's funny because one of my most vivid memories from that time was I remember talking to my dad on the phone and just kind of reminiscing about how I'd never really had such close contact with the general. And was kind of geeked out about it because he's an old Army guy, so you know he's an enlisted dude, never had that, and I never had that before. It was just refreshing to see how down to earth and personable you were. So that was just always pops out in my mind, and to this day, that's still what I think about. Colonel Panase, thank you for your support and basically allowing me to do what I need to do as a leader here. You never stifled me in what I need to do as an Econs commander, and I really appreciate that, sir. To all group and squadron commanders, chiefs, and first sergeants, I've learned so much from all of you, and I hope to keep in touch with all of you in the future. I know I've had old squadron commanders, new squadron commanders, learned so much from every single one of you, so I hope to keep in touch and just keep that relationship going. Additionally, thank you to everyone who had a hand in setting this up. It's no small feat at all. Lieutenant Bukataya, Buki, thank you for not complaining once. I know we changed this around quite a bit. At least you didn't complain to me anyway. But you definitely took charge of this event and made it great, so I really appreciate that. As far as Mess Sergeant Select Kempton, thank you so much for being the MC. I know the spotlight is not your favorite place to be, but I know you did it for me, and I really appreciate that. Also, thanks to Protocol, PA, the Red Staff, Chaplain Henderson, and finally Airman Izeze for the interment for that rendition of National Anthem. It was awesome. We heard it yesterday, and it gave me goosebumps. So I was excited that she came and did that for us. Master Sergeant RP, I just want to include you as well. You're truly the best shirt I've ever had. I can say that 100% honestly. I love the way that you reach out to your airmen and how genuine you are as a person. I've never seen anybody as a shirt that cares as much as you do, so thank you. To my four parents, Joanne, Pat, Florian, and Molly, you all are the reason I'm standing here. You've always given me the motivation to do what I want to do. Your support and encouragement have made me the person I am today. To all my other friends and family at home, especially my brother Eric and his wife Amanda, thank you for all your love and support the whole time I've been here. Kylie and Nick, my friends in Germany, I hope you guys are online watching as well. You guys have always been huge supporters of mine, so that's awesome. Basically, everybody that I was there, you know, being able to talk and see everybody that I know from home, that made it 100 times easier to be here, and I kept my sanity, which, you know, as sane as I can be anyway. And finally, to the most important people here, the men and women of the 332nd ECONS. It's my honor to be standing here as your outgoing commander. You guys all made this a year for the history books. You know, all three rotations that I had were stellar. I'm so very blessed to be the commander of what I call the small but mighty. You know, we have 12 to 14 people, but we touch so much, just like Colonel Panase said. You guys have been just killing it on and on. A year ago, I was standing in the same exact position, not really sure what was going to come to me, and but I was so excited of all the adventures that were yet to come, and quite honestly, it did not disappoint. During my tenure here, Econs faced plenty of hurdles. Colonel Panase talked about some of them. We were shorthanded on multiple occasions, so you know, with 12 to 14 people, when you're down to 8 people, that's half your squadron gone. We also took a good chunk of the MSG with us to quarantine or to isolation, so you know, that was quite a feat as well. We almost caused an international incident somehow, and then we may or may not have been involved in some New Year's Eve chicanery, who knows. And that all happened on one rotation, which was very impressive. They all kind of did it at once. Now, while all that sounds kind of terrible, honestly, I can say that it wasn't because of a lack of effort or basically misdeeds. Mostly it was because my folks were trying to look out for each other. They wanted to make sure that they were taking care of each other and making sure they were doing what's right. So sometimes even when you do what's right, you know, things happen. I can say that this has hands down been the most rewarding assignment of my 23-year career. It has me excited and hopeful to compete for another command in the future. I've been astounded by the amazing airmen I've had the incredible pleasure of working alongside. It started with people like Liz Henderson and Aaron Quick, continued with Rodrigo Laguna, Nate Gapp and Andrew Inorow, and culminated with my current team. Most notably myself, Master Sergeant Scott Ray. Scott's a consummate professional who truly cared about me and the officers and NCOs who served with out here. Probably sounds pretty cheesy, but Scott is a senior NCO I never knew I needed. I can only hope to cross paths with you again, my friend. You are awesome. As for my MSG brethren, with any type of group project, having a great group of people around you is crucial to creating a highly functional team. Albeit in some cases our team was super highly dysfunctional as well. I'm happy to say that our EMSG command team, aka the Sassy Six, was easily the best group of folks I could have ever worked with. After about 2 months of slowly getting to know each other, we quickly became a tight-knit family of brothers and one sister. We had the crotchety one, the one who marches to the beat of their own drum, the cool, calm one, the methodical one, the emotional one, and the energetic and charismatic one. I'll let you all decide which one of those is which, but I'm pretty sure we know. The fact that we meshed so well allowed us to function like a well-oiled machine. I honestly think that we worked so well together because of our personalities. You know, well-oiled machines are great, but sometimes when you put them in the desert, not so much either, so that happens too. To Nate and Dave especially, you guys are my forever brothers. Three amigos, forever. I could sit down and talk to you guys about anything, and it was awesome, so you guys were a huge stress relief for me. Appreciate that. Coming into this job, I had no clue I'd measure a success as commander. I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to, or be up to the challenge. After 372 days here, I'm still not sure I can say I crushed it, but I feel that I was successful in that my econs folks seemed happy to come to work every day, and we always worked our hardest to get to yes and support all of our mission partners. To my mighty 332ECONS, I'm going to steal a line from Lieutenant Colonel Barnes' speech because it rings all too true. All of those things that were read as my accomplishments were really all what you did. I was just lucky to be along for the ride and be able to be your commander. As I leave you all, the feelings bittersweet. I'm excited to head home to my loved ones, but I'm also very sad to leave all of the people that I've grown to love as family. However, I have no doubt you will continue to excel due to your unimpeachable drive and devotion to the mission and each other. Additionally, I know that I will leave you in great hands with Major Cultra. I know she's the leader that you all deserve, and I'm 100% certain that she'll lead you all to continued greatness. Brooke, I feel like I get to press the easy button having you as my replacement. Having worked with you throughout the past year through AFSA and staff, I've gotten to know you really well, and you've kind of gotten to learn our mission, which is awesome. I've got no doubt that you're going to hit the ground running and make this squadron your own quickly. My only hope is that I leave you a highly functioning unit, and that you don't want to curse my name 3 months down the road. So finally, in closing, I wanted to leave you all with this. Remember at some point during our time here, one of my peers jokingly said something about there being no such thing as a deployment DG. Now, while I've never been a distinguished graduate in my life, I'm indeed proud to say that I'm this rotation's DGF, or didn't get fired. So, that's all I've got for everybody. Thanks again for everyone for attending and for allowing me to have this wonderful year. God bless.
Thank you, Major Castillo. The 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron will now render a final salute to Major Castillo. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command. Attention to orders. According to Special Order Number G21073, Major Joe Castillo relinquishes command of the 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron, and Major Brooke Cultra assumes command effective 7 June 2021 by order of Colonel Martin Panizet, Commander, 332nd Expeditionary Mission Support Group. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron, Major Brooke Cultra.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to start out by echoing a lot of the things that have previously been mentioned. I know a lot goes into these ceremonies. I just want to thank everyone who played a part in the preparation of today. Colonel Panizze, thanks for presiding over today's ceremony. I'm completely honored by this opportunity. Thank you. To the wing leadership and mission partners in attendance, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. I look forward to working with you in the coming months. To my family and friends who are attending virtually, I thank you so much for your constant love and support. It's an encouragement to me. It keeps me going. Thank you for all that you've invested in me to get me here, and I'm committed to paying it forward. Joe, it's been a pleasure working with you over the past year from the staff. To say that you commanded during a challenging year is such an understatement, and I can honestly say that I deeply admire your approach throughout. Thank you so much for all that you've done to get me spun up over the last few months, and I wish you all the best as you head back to New Mexico. Members of the 332nd ECONS, I couldn't be more excited to be taking command of this squadron. You have an outstanding reputation, and I'd like to take a few moments to just highlight some of those attributes and efforts. First, your dedication to accomplishing the mission is unquestioned. With the exception of one location that's still in its initial phases of build-up, there's not an ECONS within the AFCENT that executes more actions per person. Second, your commitment to excellence is evident. In the past few months, I've lost track of the number of times someone from the AFCENT policy review team has made a point to comment on just the high quality of the MAC contract that's making its way through the acquisition process. And third, your pursuit of efficiency and innovation, whether it's restructuring the acquisition and oversight of base-wide power generation or pre-posturing contract vehicles to aid in a streamlined transition to Red Tail Village, you're a step ahead and constantly looking for ways to do things better. As your commander, I'm committed to providing you with the support resources that you need to continue to do your job with excellence, to empowering you to think critically, innovate confidently, and grow continuously as we provide mission-focused business leadership in support of combat air power. I'm committed to cultivating an environment of dignity and respect where everyone's contributions are sought and valued. Again, I'm truly honored to be taking command of such a talented, inspiring group of airmen. And with that, I'm ready to get to work.
Thank you, Major Coltra. The 332nd Expeditionary Contracting Squadron will now render an initial salute to Major Coltra. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in the singing of the Air Force song and departure of the official party.
On the night of the sun, here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Adam boys, give it the gun. Give it the gun! Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, we'll go down in flame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please take a moment to welcome Major Coltra to the Red Tails team. Thank you for attending and have a great day.
No, that's sweat. I know, you're still griping about that.
it's the other way.
But I was gonna try to get you walking out the door.